Good afternoon, families and students. This is Mrs.Lee, your student's English teacher at YMLA. I'm so grateful that we have joyously made it to May. And I wanted to just give you a little bit of insight as to what we're doing for the last 6 weeks. I know that we're a couple days out from our next set of map testing, and the year map testing will be next week. But I wanted to show you what we are doing for the remainder of this 6 weeks. So we are on our research unit. Within our research unit, we have several components where your scholar is synthesizing information. They're being held accountable to process that information, and then using what they've learned in research to be able to write a research paper, then create a research project via Google Docs, Google Slides, websites, blogs, podcasts, or posters. So they have autonomy in what they choose to do as far as presenting the information. And then last week of school, we will use that time to present in class. So I want you to look at my screen here on Google Classroom. This is our research unit. I want to just go back to April 19th when we started the research unit. And let me just show you how to locate how you know which influential male your scholar is researching and when those due dates are. So here under Wednesday, April 19th and Thursday, April 20th, this is where research planning part 1 is. You will also see a correspondence on focus that has the same assignment. So if your scholar did not turn it in, it's likely that he has a 0 for that assignment. If you're wondering where it is, it's right here inside of Google Classroom. On here is a list of, I think, about 75 influential males around the world that your scholar had the option to choose. And now they are researching this particular influential male and using what they've learned to be able to verbalize their learning and then present their new findings. So let me show you, this is the planning guide where they were able to brainstorm and go into more details on who this person is, what impact have made in the world, and then create level questions. So throughout this project, your scholar is critically thinking, processing new information, having to synthesize and summarize it in their own words, and then verbalize it with internalizers. They have to remember the information. And then by the end of the unit, they'll be able to verbalize it. But I wanted to show you, and I'm working on my May calendar now. On this calendar, it will show you where we started in the unit and then where we are going. Also, learning outcomes, so what you can expect your scholar to be able to. I'll just show you the April one, and then I'll share the May with you. This unit introduction was taken directly from the TEACS resource system. That's an online platform in which we have the entire list of 6th grade TEACS. It tells you what TEACS your scholar needs to be learning for this particular 6 weeks, and I matched that with the 4th ISD curriculum. So based on our curriculum, we had 34 days for this particular unit. It ends on May 25th. And within this unit, we're writing a research essay. Our essential questions: what is the purpose of research? And then how can research confirm or change our current perspective? You can read through this paragraph if you like to at your own time and pace. This is just learning outcomes and what your scholar will be doing. So I'm going to go down to the week of the 19th because that's when we started. Right after our reading star, we started planning and researching and brainstorming. I did do a mini lesson over primary sources versus secondary sources, and then we continued to plan and brainstorm for the rest of that week. On Monday, April 24th, is where we started research planning part 2. Your scholar began to create level 1, 2, and 3 questions in class with me, with my assistants and support. And then I showed them how to create level research questions. They have this entire week to work on those questions in part 2. And then that will be due on May 5th. All right, after star, or math star, planning part 1 was due on April 28th. So just double check to make sure that your scholar turned it in focus. On May 1st, where we started synthesizing new information by creating a detailed outline. I think it's just best practice, especially coming from various campuses. Some of your students didn't go to a fourth IC school last year. So to make sure that they're in alignment, especially for their high school classes, I showed them how to create an outline for their research paper, and then they're using their research outline to create their their research paper. That research paper is 5 paragraphs. It'll be double spaced, 12-point font, Times New Roman. That is standard typically for high school, and I know that I still use that as a graduate school student. So as a 6th grade scholar, they're expected to start getting pieces of research in those components in small chunks up until they get to high school, and then in high school they'll get into a lot more research. For this week of the May 1st through 5th that week, we are just making our outline, creating our outline, using the outline to write a research paper. They will get feedback from their partners in class, and then next week when they come back, we do have the end of the year map test, and then they'll be able to edit their research paper, submit it. I'll give them feedback, and then the week of, my calendar. The week of May 15th through the 19th, your scholar will have the entire class time to create their poster, Google Slides, website, whatever they chose to present the information. So how I did it, how I aligned it, was I made all of the more difficult tasks to be in the beginning of May and the end of April. So they have all the hard things out of the way. So they're just focused on that week, the week of the 15th. They're just focused on actually creating. So next in 2 weeks, they will be creating their poster, website, blog, podcast, video, whatever they chose. I'll give them feedback along their process. I'll assist them and also give them some mini lessons on how to create and build a website and blog. If your student wants to make a podcast and you're comfortable with them bringing their equipment, they can record in class if they choose to. But if you're more comfortable with them creating that at home, I am 100% in agreement with you. What's best for your student. I know that you know what's best for your student and what they are, what you feel they are responsible enough to bring to school. But I do know that some of that podcast equipment is very expensive. So if you're more comfortable with them creating that at home, and just have them have some kind of way to share with me what they're doing so far, so I can make sure that I'm recording their grades and giving them feedback on their process, so that they don't get to the end and then they don't have anything to produce. On Friday, May 19th and Monday, May 22nd, we'll start presentations. We'll have presentations on May 22nd, May 23rd. Our final day for presentations will be on May 24th. So for B-Day scholars, periods 5 and 6, they will start presentations on May 19th. We'll finish on May 23rd. For A-Day scholars, we will start presentations on May 22nd, and then we'll finish on May 24th. Our award ceremony for all 6th grade scholars is on May 25th, in which that begins that morning. And if you want to take your scholar home that day after the award ceremony, you have been given permission from Mr. White to do so. So I want to make sure that before the 24th, we have all presentations recorded. That way they have their final grade and they're aware of what they have before they leave for the end of the school year. And then you're comfortable and confident with their grade before they leave. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to email me. I do respond quicker to emails, and after school hours, after 4 p.m., you will have a little bit of a longer wait time because I am with family. But if you want to contact me, it would be best to contact me between 8 and 4 p.m. because I do respond quicker. If I'm in class, the best way to contact me is either email or text message because I am looking at my students and working with them a little bit more. And I do have planning periods from 2:05 to 3:40, which I'm looking at my phone pretty frequently for parent contacts and emails. So if you want to contact me during that time, you're more than welcome to. I hope that this message has found you well. Just another reminder, I'll be sending the May calendar that looks similar to this next week so that you guys have access to when the due date is. And the overall project is due before May 25th, the last day of school. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you for your partnership. And I cannot wait to see your scholars. I just share a few names that we're researching. Scholars researching. Nelson Mandela, Albert Einstein, Sugihara, LeBron James, because I love LeBron. LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Gandhi. There's lots of Paul Laurence Dunbar. There's lots of Sylvester Stallone. There's lots of. I want to make sure we have the variety of influential males around the world that your scholar will be able to explain and take ownership of their learning. So I hope that they are sharing at home the wonderful things that they're doing in class. I'm very proud of the progress I've seen so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing their creativity in their final product. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much.